Welcome to the DJNTV Chill Room Chat, your space to unwind and talk shop. This episode is sponsored by MadeByDJs.com, innovative tools designed specifically by DJs for DJs. DJEventPlanner.com, the industry standard for streamlining your business and booking faster. And DJRequests.com, the easiest way to manage your dance floor's vibe in real time. Support the show by using our Amazon affiliate link at DJNTV.com/Amazon. Now, let's get into the mix.
Hello, welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show. We're represented tonight by John and Eric in Massachusetts, Damon in Michigan, and me in Wisconsin. How you doing?
What's going on, guys?
I saw something the other day. I posted it. I don't know if a lot of people know who this gentleman was, but Jelly Bean Johnson, drummer of the time, passed away this week. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, or even knew who he was. Yeah. And it got me thinking about all of the acts that I've seen where the people aren't around anymore. Like, how many concerts have I seen where the performers are no longer with us? I got a bunch. Can you guys think of anybody who you've seen live that is no longer with us?
Oh, sure. Performers somewhat, but key players, like without that person, the band's not the band.
Yeah.
Kind of element. Yeah, we got a few.
Yeah.
I mean, just take like Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
It's like I saw the 5150 iteration of Van Halen with Eddie Van Halen. I was like, whoa.
Right.
And
definitely a key player.
Right. And it's without him, it's like there's other bands that'll stem from the debris, but you're not going to have Van Halen again without Eddie.
Right.
It's just like, that's it. And scene. Close the curtain. It's like, where do you go from here, you know?
Right.
You're not going to replace him. That'd be, sacrilegious. It's just...
I've never seen Ozzy, but he's gone. I'm sure
Ozzy.
many people viewing this have seen him many times,
Oh, I've seen
John,
him.
have you? Yeah, you
I have.
Yeah.
I saw him late. I saw him, just before the, like lockdowns, like 18, 19. He came around on kind of what I thought was going to be his farewell tour. And I was like, well, I don't want to miss that. This could be it. And, he was right, but he was, 8 years premature. But he was great. He was great on stage. And we joked because, he'd start to sing in the microphone and he'd just kind of like wobble away, singing off into nothing. It's like, I was like, is he punking us up there? Like, he knows he's doing this, right? But he was great on stage. Just commanding presence, and the crowd responds to everything he says. They just hang on his every word. But he was always that way, through most of the 80s. But yeah, he's gone.
I saw him on the Ultimate Sin tour, which was that 2000 or 85 or 86. I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
And I remember Metallica opened for him, and they were still supporting Ride the Lightning. Like, that was still their main thing that they were playing. And I remember he had blonde hair. He was fat. He was barefoot. And when he walked across stage, like, usually when you're on stage and you're performing, there's a rhythm going on in the song. You're walking to the rhythm or something. He was not paying any attention to the rhythm of the song the way he was walking. It had no, connection to the music at all. He was just walking.
Yes.
Like, fast paced, but it was not on beat or anything else. And I thought that was just funny to watch. And watching that show, I'm like, oh my God, look how high that guy is. He's going to be dead soon. I'm seeing him now and we'll never be able to see him again. And that was 40 years ago. So,
even back then, he was marching to the beat of his own drum.
He was marching to the beat of his own drum, but it wasn't the drum, the song he was singing.
Wasn't anybody on stage with him. It was just in his own head with what he heard, what was supposed to be.
But barefoot. The guy had no shoes on. I don't know what that was all about, but he was barefoot the whole time.
Nice. Well,
how about you, Damon? What have you seen?
Well, two of the greatest entertainers of all time. Okay. One, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her perform.
What year?
This was probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And we got this venue here called Shane Park, and it's outdoor amphitheater that holds maybe about 5,000 people,
Mm,
which was beautiful. I mean,
yeah,
so got a chance to see her perform there, and she did disappoint me. I wish I could have seen her in her prime, but I was too young. But
right.
but
Yeah,
she still put on a great show.
yeah.
And then of course, I've seen Prince many a times, and
Well, I know you saw him when you were a kid.
yeah, so that was my very first concert.
Wasn't that for 1999 or something crazy
Yeah,
like
1999.
that? With your dad? That's nuts.
Yep. And then I seen him, a few years, shit, 20 years later when I was an adult. Seen
Right.
him two different times, and oh my God, great, great show.
Somebody
I've
put up
never seen Prince. I would have loved to, though. Really.
that was
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone else puts on a better show than he put
Mm.
on. I
I
don't know
I,
I
them.
would
I
have
have to
loved.
agree.
I don't, and maybe there is somebody, but I don't know who they are.
Okay.
Seen him
No,
several
that was
times,
yeah.
and it was the entire package.
Yeah.
It means
Oh,
everything.
and then the other group I seen perform, which one of their members passed away, was the Beastie Boys. Um,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, they put on a show.
What year was that?
That was around 99
Okay,
when I
so
Wow.
seen them.
by
The
then they were
Galactic.
playing their own instruments, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they was definitely
Yeah.
playing their own instruments and stuff like that. So it was like half instruments, half DJ, doing stuff. Um, so it was like, and the cool thing, it was a circling around.
Oh,
So
okay.
which was fun to watch because
Oh, I bet. I bet that was
because
fun.
they're all over the place, and it was just a great show. And oh, and Tribe Called Quest opened for him, which was Phife Dawg, who passed away, one of the members of Tribe Called Quest, and that was actually their last tour that was on before he passed away. So it was so I've seen quite a few,
Yeah.
lot of great shows. Haven't seen Ozzy or nothing like that, but
Well,
or I never got a chance to see Eddie. Would have
I
been
never
cool to
saw Eddie
see.
Van Halen. I saw Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth play a double bill,
Whoa.
after they had both left Van Halen, and that was interesting. That was pretty cool. And I
Okay.
got a newfound respect for Sammy Hagar, who I always liked,
Mm.
but I liked him before he joined Van Halen, but I didn't think much of him in Van Halen. But after he started playing, I'd forgotten how giant his guy's catalog was, and he was a great performer. And I was kind of in it for David Lee Roth because he, kind of a cool guy back in the 80s when he was doing 1984 and all that stuff.
Mr. Showman himself.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was not good. And we're talking
It
about
was-
25 years ago.
I
It
can
wasn't
believe
very
that.
good. It was disappointing compared to what Sammy Hagar did. Sammy Hagar was like a great show, and David Lee Roth was like a review act. It didn't feel,
Yeah. I caught him. It was the Yankee Rose tour. Like just, he'd done Crazy from the Heat, and we thought he was going to come out and sing a bunch of hokey stuff, but he started playing some of the stuff from that record. And a lot of it was kind of that vaudeville throwback thing. That was kind of his shtick, though. And you knew what you were
yeah,
going
it
to get.
became a shtick.
You get in
Yeah.
the carnival barker when David's on stage, and it was
Yeah. This is before he cut his hair short, when he had the receding hairline, so he had the bandana on really high, trying to hide that, that kind of thing, kind of David in denial thing. But there, I mean, he's still with us, as is Sammy.
Yeah.
But that's as close as I ever
Yeah.
got to a Van Halen show. We'll see.
I mean, some bands can carry on with replacement parts. But I saw Leopard a bunch of times, but I saw them on the Hysteria tour when Steve Clark was playing, and but then to see them again with Vivian Campbell, it's like it's not that different. I mean, you still got the vocals, you still got the 5-piece on stage. It doesn't look any different, but somebody's missing. But it doesn't really take a toll on the sound because someone can learn someone else's guitar parts, but some guy off the street can't learn to sing like Sammy Hagar. You know what I mean?
Right.
No.
There's certain things you can get away with, like bands lose drummers. There's long list of when Keith Moon passed in the Who. I saw the Who this year, but I didn't see them in the '60s or up into the '70s when he was still alive. But according to Alice Cooper, who used to live next door to him, he was quite a strange character.
Well, it's funny you
This
say
is
that,
coming
John,
from Alice
because
Cooper.
From Alice Cooper, who's not exactly the most normal guy on the block, but he does shoot a pretty good game of
I
golf.
think Alice Cooper is probably more normal than you think he is.
Is
Oh, he is.
pulls out of his
he's
driveway in
a
his
very normal
car,
dude.
and as he's driving about to turn on the street, Keith Moon climbs from the top of the car and waves to Alice as he's driving the car out of his driveway. It's like, how did you get in my car? And what's, you know, and the car is parked in the bottom of the pool. Things that Keith Moon would do. Just the total lunacy of some of the crazy stuff he was. Very, very interesting person. I'm sure the stories you would get as a Hollywood vampire listening to Mickey Dolenz and John Lennon.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. But
It's funny. The other day, I just saw something that it never dawned on me, and I didn't really dig into it to figure out exactly what music they were referring to. And it might have been a professor of rock. And I didn't watch the video, but I Googled what the title was because I don't like his clickbait. I didn't want to watch his video.
You try to skip forward this commercial. Damn it, commercial. Damn it.
What does that mean? Okay, well, let me Google and see what he's trying to get at.
Right.
So there's one rock star, and only one rock star, where you can go to like a heavy metal record store and buy his albums, or you can buy them in Christian bookstores, and it's Alice Cooper. And I never really looked into what they're selling of Alice Coopers in Christian bookstores, but apparently that's a thing.
At some point in time, when it was at 40 years or something, now that he's been sober, he realized that it was an act. It wasn't a lifestyle that when he goes on stage and puts on the war paint, he's that character. And then when he takes it off, he goes back to being just old Alice, and you can't live that lifestyle and expect to have any kind of longevity because
I remember
you out.
Something.
I don't know what the connection is with the Christian bookstore though, but
I don't either. But I remember, and I'd forgotten about this, so you just brought that up. Because I used to work at a club called Backstage on nights when I had nothing else going on. And Backstage was interesting. It was a rock and roll club. You'd have loved it. So it was a club, they only played rock. It was full DJ booth. They had a stage, the whole bit. And the guy who owned the place would bring rock stars there after shows, like, the after party kind of thing. And they had a video that they had shot an interview of Alice Cooper. And we're talking about 90, 91, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking him questions. And I remember he was like, you know what? I'm just more interested in, hanging out with my kids and, going to their ball games and just doing family stuff than all this others. I'm not interested in that stuff anymore. And then every time they try to prod him for something real rock and roll, he'd say, you know what? I just rather hang out with my family and just do normal stuff. And so, I knew back then that it was, he was revealing to them basically, this is an act. Look, I'm just a guy,
Mm-hmm.
This stage guy it's Broadville, like you say, it's just an act. I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah. Well, he kind of took cues from the crazy world of Arthur Brown, right? I am the god of hellfire and I bring you fire. It was like he wanted to be the big experience on stage, very, very theatrical, very over the top. And he says, well, give people what they pay for. Kind of like a carnival, like a circus. Larger than life. You can't see this anywhere else. And it's the fear of missing out. If you don't go see the show, you're not going to know what everybody's talking about because he wanted everybody talking about it. He was his best publicist. You don't want to come see my show. I got snakes and guillotines and that's line extended down the block to go see him because it was just that it's just like we have to see this maniac.
You've seen him live?
I have not, but I think I'm going to catch him when he comes around. He's with Priest on this next run, and
guess what?
This is retirement.
I've seen him live.
You've seen him live?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I saw him on the Constrictor tour.
Okay, good record.
Yeah, fun. I thought it was a cool record. It wasn't a popular record. It was the record that he did a song. It was for either a Friday the 13th movie or a Halloween movie. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he's about the man behind the mask.
Yeah, it was on there. But the rest of the album is actually kind of fun. It's pop rock more than anything else, but it's kind of fun.
Is. And he's always very tongue in cheek with the lyrics too. He's
very much the world needs guts, the world needs power. Yeah,
he's much the lyricist like Weird Al.
But I had the album. I liked the album. We were playing his songs. I was in a band in high school, and we were playing those songs at the time. But we didn't go because we wanted to support the album. We went because we wanted to see Alice Cooper show. It was just like get their head chopped off. And, how that was done, kind of thing. Because that's what he did. It was all like magic tricks, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So it's some really basic props too. He starts into Cold Ethel and they wheel a refrigerator out on stage and he pulls out this plastic love doll and she's got a wig with a dress on and this is Cold Ethel. I mean, that was campy, but I mean, it was who else was doing that? You
Right,
weren't
right.
getting musicians, with theatrics like that.
So the funny thing with Alice Cooper is there's a haunted house here called Eloise Asylum, which is an old mental hospital, blah, blah, blah. And when they first turned it into a haunted house, the first 2 years, Alice Cooper played opening night.
Wow.
So it was just like, it's a very famous haunted house, very famous mental hospital here,
Yeah.
that closed down in the 80s, but it was there from like over 100 years. And there's like tunnels underneath the streets and all this shit. All this stuff was crazy. But yeah, he played the opening day 2 years in a row.
Is he from Detroit?
Yes.
So the city of Detroit.
He's from Michigan.
I knew from Michigan. I just didn't know.
But I don't know exactly where.
Is he from like Lansing or
I don't know.
Grand Rapids or something? Or
like one or two records ago, it was the Detroit Story. So he definitely has some connection there because that was this decade of his releases. But I mean, back in the day, he was when he bought his house in LA, he lived next door to Groucho Marx, and
he's been in
yeah, he says he's from Detroit, so
Paradise Valley forever, and right outside of Phoenix.
Yep.
You know the story that he bought he had the letter O on the Hollywood sign
for Groucho, right?
For Groucho, yeah. Because they were buddies. Groucho would call him up. I can't sleep. They'd go over and watch old time black and white films, drinking coffee.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was in the Broadway. I mean, it made sense.
It's a time in that world of someone who's from like the 30s and 40s, and that's his neighbor and his best friend. It's like, didn't see that coming.
Totally
Didn't have that on my Alice Cooper bingo card, but he does that a lot. So, yeah, that's
hanging out with Gene Stapleton.
It's when you're in those dance clubs, you never know who you're going to run into.
That was actually a fundraiser for a theater company for a Midsummer Night's Dream. It was a Midsummer Night's Dream party, and they were dressed as characters. That was not a club. In that picture with Gene Stapleton,
intentionally dressed provocative.
It makes it even right. Yeah, it makes
good headline though. Good tabloid. Look, Edith and Alice. And the headline.
Prince was probably one of the best live shows I've ever seen, but the runner-up, or maybe the head-to-head one, and you got to take into consideration when it happened. I think if I'd have seen this performer any other time, it wouldn't be as amazing. But I saw George Michael on the Faith 88 tour, and I was in the 11th row, and there was no trickery in the studio with this guy. The voice you heard was the voice. That was his voice. He was that good. It was an amazing show. Absolutely amazing show. And he was playful with the crowd, and yeah, very good. Very, very good show. It was my top show until I saw Prince. And then it was like, okay, this is just as good, if not better. But
got to hand it to George. And I mean, at the passing of Freddie in 91, 92, when they did the Queen tribute, and he was, I think, the only one that could have held a candle on love. I mean, he was the no-brainer choice to cover that. He was magnificent. And it's like one of the best recordings is as a cover of a Queen song. I mean, he just nailed it. But he loved Freddie. He was kind of from that world. They weren't that too far separated.
Yeah, there were a lot of parallels there.
Between style and locations and lifestyles. But
this is kind of a trick question, okay, Brian? This is a trick question.
Trick question.
Because the subject. I mean, it's like someone you've seen who's no longer with us anymore.
Right.
Well, that's rough, because I've always been on a low budget. I couldn't afford Prince. I couldn't afford to go see, I mean, like growing up, back then tickets were actually way cheaper than they are now.
Like $8 you go see a band.
I've seen
3 bands.
Major acts for $12, $18, 22. I think my first major concert was major concert I bought tickets for was Scorpions on the Love at First Sting tour. And I think it was an $18 ticket.
But I did think of one that that I did see, and it's not a like an oh my God band, you know.
Uh,
But I seen them at the Hampton Beach Casino, John, which you're familiar with.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
A little bit north of us, yeah.
Uh, Soft Cell. They only had one song that I know of, Tainted Love.
Yeah, Mark Allman.
That
He's
well,
still alive.
Dave Ball is gone.
He
He
just
he
passed, yeah.
passed away October.
Mark Allman was the main guy in that one, wasn't he?
All right. Well, this guy was. You're talking about lead singers now, I guess.
Well,
But
Well, I
I
guess
think,
if you lose
yeah.
50-50, if you lose 50% of a duo, then yeah, that's kind of
Mhm.
half the
Yeah.
battle. You know?
and then the thing that you brought up, John, I just want to comment quick on is when you said, okay, when a lead singer or a band passes away, I mean, it's hard to get someone that's going to sound like him, but
Yeah.
anybody can do the guitar and play it like,
Well, usually,
say,
unless it's Eddie Van
yeah,
Halen.
Yeah, like Don Scott
I,
passed, AC/DC went in a whole different direction with a new sound, and it was like because we can't
I
get another
just,
Bond, you know.
I just wanted to say, Journey got lucky when Steve Perry was gone. with,
Yeah,
with their new lead singer. I mean, this guy sounds like Steve Perry. I
he
mean, you
does.
guys, and yeah. So
And
they
that
got
was,
lucky
yeah.
with
But you
with
need
that.
that
But
for that catalog. You need someone who can sing like Steve Perry because you
But
can't sing those songs not
yeah,
like Steve
you
Perry.
can sound like Steve Perry and tour with the old material. But then there's other acts where when the lead singer's gone, no matter if you can get a sound alike or not, it ain't gonna work. And one example
mm,
I can think of an act that I saw where the lead singer's no longer with us is in Excess. And they tried to replace Michael Hutchence after he died. They even had a TV show about it. Like a almost a talent, like a American Idol kind of thing to try to find a
Well,
replacement for
like a
Michael Hutchence.
runoff. Try to find someone
What was
who's
it called? It was like In Excess making the band or something like that. It was like a American Idol kind of thing. They were looking for a Michael Hutchence replacement. They could never find one.
mm,
And I mean, um, Andrew Ferris, the keyboard player, wrote most of that music, but Michael was the lyricist. He'd put the lyrics behind. So Andrew would write it, and Michael would do the words and sing it the way he wanted to sing it. He was a poet that way, and he had this appeal to him, kind of like Freddie Mercury would, where on stage you cannot replace this guy. I don't think you can.
no. Well, you can cover the material later in life. I mean, Adam Lambert came through and stepped up and does a pretty stellar job, but he's not Freddie, and
He's not
Yeah.
commanding an
he
audience
knows
like
he's not
Freddie.
Freddie, right? He knows he's
Right,
not
right,
Freddie. He doesn't
right.
try
and
to be
I
Freddie.
like Adam Lambert. I think he's yeah.
And I've
But
seen him with Queen, that performance. And half the well, not half the show, a quarter of the show, they actually play Freddie vocals on some of the songs and stuff like
Do
that.
they?
Yeah, and they show up a video and play his vocals and stuff like that. And Adam he just leaves the stage. He's nowhere
Right.
on the stage. He let Freddie that visual do his thing.
That's it.
And
That's out of respect. I think he just knows it's
yeah,
like the
yeah,
Queen had always walked off the stage for that mid break in Bohemian Rhapsody with all the studio trickery. It's like we can't do this live. So we're just going to play the clip, flash some lights, and then when we all come back in, we all walk back up and start again. I mean, that was just,
Well,
that's how
I've
you do it.
heard Freddie Mercury's sound alikes. They're amazing. They're and like on I think Australia's Got Talent had somebody who sounded exactly like Freddie Mercury. It was crazy. But you gotta have that it factor that only Freddie had. Have you ever seen his Live Aid
Oh,
performance?
the Live Aid is
Oh, yeah.
dynamite.
yes.
He commands an audience like I've never seen anyone command an audience. They loved him.
Hmm.
And he was just
And Queen
they
was a
did everything he
forgotten
said to
band.
do.
No one bought the tickets to see Queen. Queen was in the middle of the day, and they stole the show.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
how you take it over. And 21
man.
minutes that changed the world. That's
Cool.
Yeah.
watch it if for anyone watching. If you have not seen it, it's on YouTube and it's well worth.
Yeah,
worth your
yeah.
time.
Those of you watching, do check that out. We ought to
And like
touch on that too. Go ahead,
And
Damon.
like you said, it was 21 minutes. I mean, that changed the world. It's like they could have played for 2 hours and and wouldn't have been enough.
No, no. There are shows I've gone to where I'm like, God, you know what? This is good, but I'm going to be really glad when it's over because I just want it to be done. And then I've seen shows where it's like, oh my God, not yet. You know, I've
Mhm.
done both.
Yeah, I've been both too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The joke on the Queen one is, of course, after they buttoned it up and he did his big finale, he's walking off, the band that's coming up behind him's like, seriously?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, a lot
How
of
you gonna follow
fans-
that?
Yeah, it's, thanks for the vote of confidence, but yeah, that's in the documentaries on it too. Whatever the band was that's behind. It's like, thanks for making everybody's day, Freddie.
Like Haircut 100 or somebody like that. It's just,
Yeah, we're gonna play the one song you know from us 6 times because
I mean, but you have to look at it though. I mean, like you said, they were on in the middle of the day,
yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was like, look, we're gonna give y'all something to talk about.
absolutely no lights, no fog, no trickery. It was just
Right.
power, raw vocal, raw, and he was sick. He had like pneumonia or something, and he powered through that, and it was just
Wow.
like, okay,
Mhm.
all right. He knew that was the
Wow.
day. That was the make it or break it for the band, and
And they did it.
they sure as hell put on a show.
They
So
made
speaking
it.
of speaking of live performances, I mean, YouTube's a great thing. You can see things that you never thought you'd ever be able to see. And I have been privy to seeing some pretty amazing live performances that are just exceptional. Have you guys seen anything like that on YouTube that we can share with the audience that maybe they should check out? Just exceptionally good live performances. I mean, the Queen at Live Aid is one that's really good.
That's up there.
I'm trying to think here. That is specifically on YouTube, off the top of my head.
Well, just it doesn't matter, but stuff that people could watch. I mean, that they could check out if they wanted to. Just exceptionally good live performances.
Oh, well, I mean, for me, any of the early George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic stuff from the 70s is like phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, the later years it's okay.
Right.
No, and I am a big George Clinton fan,
Mhm.
but his early performances in the 70s and 80s are a lot better than they are in the 90s and 2000s because his voice is shot, you know.
Oh, sure.
They almost become like a jam band, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but they were already like that to begin with, though, because their songs lasted
Right.
15 minutes.
Well, speaking of jam bands, one that was a jam band and kind of became more of a polished band who stuck to, songs that the audience would better recognize with live performances would be Chicago.
Yeah.
They did a lot of jam band stuff. And if anybody wants to see something really cool, check out any of that live at Tanglewood stuff that they did in like 71. Oh, it's neat. And it's so raw too. And it's all improvised. And they're starting songs while you can still see like text setting up symbols and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a polished performance at all. They're just playing and people are jumping in and doing stuff, and it's pretty cool. And 25 or 624 is exceptionally good because Terry Kath does a guitar solo that's just a trip. It's a really cool live performance if you get a chance to check it out sometime.
I got one for you, and it's something that you brought to our attention, Brian, and it's all over YouTube. And it was so good that John and I went to go see these people.
Oh,
Lee, how do you say it? Lenoid, and
I don't know. I say Leonid.
Leonard.
Probably Leonard.
He's got now. John admitted
Wow.
you and I actually went to go see them, and it was truly amazing live.
Yes. It was
Check them out on
select
YouTube
tracks from Chicago, Earth, Wind, and Fire tracks they did. Yeah, great. I think we ended up getting like an 8-piece version of the band. I put all the horns. What do you want? Why now?
Leonid and friends on YouTube. Check them out, please.
And they are touring. They are touring. They're not from here, but they're
Russian.
They do tour the States quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And all the clips that we've seen on YouTube, Brian, that you introduced us to, all live.
Those video performances are insanity. Yeah. Leonid or Leonid or however you say his name, and friends.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's right top notch. So
It
check
is.
them out if you can.
If you like to hear this stuff, played true to form. Not a lot of improv. It's going to sound like it did on the record. It's that.
Yeah, note for note.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
his style of transcribing. It's note for note, and the people he brings in to do this stuff are like the best of the best in Russia, and they're absolutely amazing. All ages. It's and male, female, doesn't matter. They can be in their 70s. They could be in their teens. If they're good, they're good, and they're there. And the transcribing that he does on these songs is just insanity. It's really good stuff. You're right. That's really good.
No, yeah, and I'm glad you brought it to our attention in here. And then John and I went to go. It was great.
Yeah,
It was
just to
was a
cross-reference
great
out
time,
Chicago. It's
yeah.
like you're not going to see Chicago in its entirety, but you can almost hear them. And it's
Oh.
way better than a cover band. Don't think of it as a cover.
Mhm.
Well, the
'Cause they-
first time that I stumbled across that on YouTube, and you gotta understand, I'm not sitting here on a laptop. I've got a 43-inch screen in front of me. I've got Pioneer studio monitors on either side. I got, a cool Pioneer Club mixer here. I got really
endorsements,
good stats.
endorsements. Okay.
No, I'm not trying to do endorsements, but no, I've got the good stuff here. So I'm getting a really good experience. If something comes across that has good sound, I'm experiencing it here at the desk. The first time I played one of their videos, I was like, I'll look at it. I'll have a look. I've heard cover bands. Let me have a look at this. But I couldn't blink. I was like, I was dumbfounded. It was just like, how? How were they doing this? The string section, the horn section, the singers, guitar, keyboard, bass.
Trying to sing like Peter
perfect.
Cetera is not the easiest thing in the world either. And
he
there's
doesn't sound
talent.
like Peter Cetera, but you know what? He sounds good. He's hitting the notes right. He's enunciating it properly.
Yes.
And the fidelity is incredible. Because you didn't have that back then. Like you did.
It's a definite well worth watching.
No, concerning what the
YouTube,
Chicago record
yeah.
from 71 sounds like, it's 71 studio quality. And now you've got an updated, brand new, shining, sparkling version of the song. It's like, wow, this is definitely worth listening to. So
Mhm.
I saw a performance from the early 2000s. I couldn't tell you what year, very early 2000s. And it was in Buffalo, New York on the 4th of July. And it was Goo Goo Dolls doing Iris. It was like a heavy storm downpour, like torrential rain. And they did the song in the rain, and it was perfect. It was so cool. If you haven't seen that, have a look at it. Goo Goo Dolls Iris live in Buffalo, 4th of July. Very good. And I like the song. Everybody likes the song. And I'd heard a lot of things about, the duo who is essentially Goo Goo Dolls and how other people came in and did things for them and all that. But man, the vocals and the guitar and everything they were doing was spot on. It was so good. And they were just soaking wet, but they were so gracious and so cool. And the audience was right there with them. It was just a really neat performance to check out. So if you get a chance, do have a look at that. It's good. I think it's good.
yeah,
What
that's
do I
good.
know?
He's still there.
Well, I have another two, if you don't mind.
No, please.
Well, this band is not just the Tonight Show Jimmy Fallon's band, but they're a hell of a band in
Roots.
themselves, the Roots.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever get a chance to see them perform, watch their videos on YouTube or go see them perform live, it is a heck of a show.
Oh, they're tight.
They're very tight.
They're
And they're
super
not
tight.
just hip hop. I mean, they play some of everything. And
Well, yeah. You got Questlove involved.
Yeah, they're serious musicians. They're serious musicians.
Questlove would be fun to have in here because he kind of spins like we do a lot of times in here.
Yeah.
Just to pick his brain for half an hour. See if we can pull some strings to get him in here as a guest.
He's done things and seen things.
Right.
Questlove is multi-instrumental. He's a hell of a DJ.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he was Prince's DJ for quite some time. My understanding. I don't know exactly when, but he worked with Prince for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
While he was doing the thing with the Roots and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be yeah, that's something to check out for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
this would
then,
be
like I
killer.
said, the other thing, if you just want to watch a good, it's kind of like a concert footage. It's the Dave Chappelle Block Party, and
Yep.
he has some of everybody who's in hip hop on there on that. You know,
It's been years since I've watched those, but I have seen one or two of
yeah.
those block parties. It's been years since I've seen it though. But yeah, very
Mhm.
good stuff.
And of course, the Roots are pretty much the backing band for all the groups that comes through there. It's just like,
Right. Right.
hmm
Kind of the funky Paul Schaefer.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
He's
right.
everywhere.
That's a good analogy. Yeah, that's.
And if you look at
Hey,
it, Paul
Dave.
Schaefer's band was not. There was nothing to play with. Paul Schaefer,
Ooh.
they were. Whoo-hoo.
Saw him live. I saw him live. The one of the last incarnations of him.
Yeah, I mean, I've never, like I said, I've never seen him live, but I look
Mm.
at his credits and stuff that he's written and produced and stuff. You like, he did what? This, and this.
Paul
Well, I
Schaefer.
don't remember this.
He wrote "It's Raining Men" too, didn't he? That was his.
I
Was that
don't
him?
know.
I think
I
that was
don't
him.
know.
I think it
Really? I don't know.
was.
Yeah, we can fact check it. I saw Anton Fig because Ace Frehley nabbed him to take him out on tour every time he needed a drummer. So he was part of the late night band with Dave.
Well, back in the old days, I so okay. I saw the last year of Jay Leno on the Tonight Show live in Burbank, and I saw the last year of David Letterman, on whatever it is, at Sullivan Theater. I saw that.
Leno had what? Kevin Eubanks and somebody, right? They had a different.
I
Mike
don't
Stevenson was
remember
gone,
his,
I
Yeah,
think,
Leno
by
had
that point.
Kevin Eubanks.
Yeah.
but I don't. It didn't stand out. What stood out when I saw Jay, what stood out the most, what I remember the most, is when they have the musical guest at the end.
Hmm.
He's off camera, like right next to the stage, dancing to whatever they're playing. He's jamming to it. He's into it. He's supporting the band. They don't show it, but he's doing it. And I thought that was neat because, I mean, like I saw Letterman, he went off stage. You didn't see him. But when I saw Letterman, what I found was interesting was, how we're going to go to commercial and there's dun 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 dun, it fades out and then they do commercial. Paul Schaefer's band is playing an entire song while the commercial's happening, so you can hear the whole song, and it's amazing. He's playing for the audience, and then the song wraps when they come back from commercial. It's timed perfect, and it's so good the way they did it with Paul Schaefer's band. So tight, so good. Oh man, just top notch, just top notch musicianship on that.
Yes, I agree.
I Googled for the heck of it, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm cheating.
Okay.
Most viewed concert on YouTube. You guys gonna believe Rod Stewart's New Year's Eve concert in '94 is the most viewed concert live or whatever viewed concert
Wow.
on YouTube. That's what
Huh.
it's telling me here. I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share it with you guys.
That
Uh,
is. It's a weird
it
one.
was the New Year's Eve on Copacabana Beach, actually,
Huh.
in Rio, de Janeiro or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, in '94.
Huh.
Imagine that. It's the most viewed concert on YouTube, they
I
say.
wonder why.
I don't know why.
Rod's like
Maybe,
Bowie. He's covered every conceivable genre.
maybe
There was
because it was
rock,
Yeah.
rock Stewart. There was disco Stewart. There was 80s pop Stewart. He did it all. Ballad Stewart, right?
Yeah, well,
there was
Bowie did
3.5
Bowie.
million
Yeah.
people at this concert too, by
Wow.
the way. That's a big show,
Yeah, those are always big down there.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Wow.
Now,
Interesting.
Bowie's a
fun fact.
guy I never saw live, but I wish I would have.
Yeah.
But there was never a tour that came through on an album that I wanted to support, and they weren't exactly greatest hits tours, so I didn't go, but I should have just gone. I should have just gone just to go because that would have been neat. I mean, the older he got, the better he got. I thought as a performer.
Yeah, Paul Schaefer did write, co-wrote "It's Raining Men."
Co-wrote a Training Man.
He
Yeah.
did, huh? Wow. I
Yep.
never knew that.
Every time there's like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like jam or something, Paul Schaefer's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always just there.
Pushing the piano player out of the way. And a one, and a two, and a let's go.
Let me show you how it's done here. Get out of the way. Well, kids.
No, but we got one more because we didn't give
Oh.
Michael, we didn't show Michael any love. We have not George Michael, but Michael Jackson. Is there anything that you've seen of him that you think would be a starting point for someone that knows Beat It and Billie Jean that wants to see new Michael, maybe like Dangerous Era? Have you ever seen any of his?
See, I'd rather see Off the Wall Michael than Dangerous Michael.
Oh, me too. Off the Wall
that's
was
just me.
great. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Thriller Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, those videos all exist, but it's like, what about his live show? It was like, you make a great record. How do you reproduce it? Like that would have been one to see, but Thriller was what, 83, 84. We were all kids. It's like,
Right.
Well, I
as far
would
as
imagine. Yeah. I
as
would
far as the-
imagine he was just as good live.
As far as the
And-
stage performance goes, I mean, Motown 25
Yeah.
is
There you
the
go.
show you want to see,
Yes.
where most of America saw the moonwalk for the very first time.
Yeah.
But I think he's lip syncing that. Maybe he's not. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
he's jumping around an awful lot to not have lost any breath or, sound
Yes,
winded
that's,
at any point.
He was a young man.
see, that started to become a big thing back then, was the lip syncing.
They came on. Yeah.
I watched that live when it was on television. I remember watching it while it was happening. I'm like, oh, look, Jackson 5. Because I had just bought Torture, the record, right? And we were still playing that Heartbreak Hotel song, right? And we were looking for like the next big thing from Jackson's. And I don't think we were at State of Shock yet, but
No.
it was Motown 50 and
25.
35. And because then I went and bought the dual album of both of that. Because I'm like, this is going to be a great compilation record. With everything that's on here, all these Motown artists, and that was the showstopper. That
Well,
night.
he came on with his brothers to do like a Jackson's thing,
they did like a little
and I
medley.
think that was live. I don't think they lip synced that. But then when he came on, like as an encore and did Billie Jean, and maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe he was singing it. I don't know. But that's a performance that people still cite, just even for his dance moves and his stage presence. This is the one that people talk about for him. As
Very
far as
good.
Prince goes, I mean, it's pretty much Purple Rain. Just watch that,
Yeah. But he hinted at how good he was at the stage show too, because we watched the videos for Little Red Corvette in 1999, and we saw his visionary mind making cinematic videos. I mean, it wasn't just I'm standing here and I'm singing the song. It was the way it was shot, the camera angles. It was like, this is a big thing. He made it exciting, for a lot of his stuff.
They shot that on a stage somewhere in like Orlando, like around Disney. And there was a designer that came in to do the set. And he had worked on some things for, I think, Playboy or whatever, some art stuff for them. And he had a real low budget. And I was like, well, what do you want to do? It's like, mini blinds and light behind mini blinds. And it became a thing. That was a thing for a while. He started that with the Prince videos. Do you remember that?
Yep.
There's a lot of mini blinds and light behind the mini blinds. That was his jam. And he used like those burgundy and blue lights. And when I first started DJing, when I had my own setup, which I think was like 93, 94, when I got my first mobile setup, I had two par 46s shining on me, like from my trussing system that it was over my head. And guess what? There was a blue and a burgundy par. I was doing the Prince show. That was my thing because of those videos. I thought that was just the coolest look. The Prince stayed in there with those lights on him.
And you were sweating your butt off with par 46s.
Probably was.
Yeah,
But if I was playing outdoors, it kept me warm. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have brought some Venetian blinds. You'd have been.
Yeah, really.
Right.
There's a reason why those blinds. And it's like, dude, I'm cooking back here. What do we got? Blinds, hang them. Okay. Now it looks like a car going by outside, but that's a good
They're
look.
pretty practical. I mean, I don't like the look, but you know what? Functionality wise, the mini blinds are cool.
Yeah. And remember, folks, we're talking about Purple Rain, not Under Cherry Moon. So watch those movies. Watch Purple Rain. Do not watch Under Cherry Moon.
Just watch Purple. Don't watch Graffiti Bridge. Don't watch Cherry Moon.
Right.
Just watch Purple Rain. Look, we all have raspberries, and he certainly did. But
Yeah.
that album is great. The Parade album is really good.
Yeah,
Different, but it's really good.
yeah, the album was good, but the movie, eh.
What did they?
Sponsors?
What did Casey Kasem call it? It was something like there was a something like a victory parade and a cherry bomb, I think is how he described it. 'Cause the album was great and the movie was crap. Yeah.
I'm sure there wasn't Siskel and Ebert. I mean, they love
That was
playing-
Casey Kasem, I remember.
I'm
he was
Casey
saying-
Kasem.
Yeah, he was saying that the next song, is it's coming from a victory parade, but there's also a cherry bomb, and but the album was great. There's a lot of stuff like that happens. That happened. Xanadu soundtrack, I think people panned the movie, but the soundtrack did incredibly well.
Yeah.
There were some like that
Yeah.
where the critics didn't exactly love the film, but the
No.
soundtrack.
No, the Sgt. Pepper film with the Bee Gees and whatnot. Great soundtrack. Awful movie.
Yeah, there was some real winners on there too. Earth, Wind, and Fire did Got to Get You Into My
Get You Out
Life.
of My Life. Yeah,
And then didn't Aerosmith do Come Together on that?
they did. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
It ended up on the greatest hits in 1980.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm just thinking back to, and maybe this wasn't a hit, but I liked it. The Bright Lights, Big City soundtrack I thought was fantastic. But the movie wasn't anything to write home about. There are a few like that.
Vision Quest.
Oh,
Great
forgot
soundtrack.
about Vision. Yeah, forgot about
Awful
Vision,
movie.
bro.
And Madonna in there.
Yeah,
And she's actually in the film, just performing a song, I think, though.
just performing. So
Yeah. But all right, kids, we are brought to you by DJ Event Planner. They were silly enough to sponsor this video for us. So be silly enough to check out their website in the description of this video. Be weird, click on it and see what's going on with them. Thank you, DJ Event Planner, for being one of our channel sponsors. We're gonna cut it short tonight. We got a holiday weekend. I know that it's probably the 4th of July where you're watching this, but it's Thanksgiving this week. So we're all gonna be turkey or something in a couple days. We have to condition ourselves and get ready for the big meal. I know Eric's doing it, right?
I'm doing it. Keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the stars. No,
We
come on, that was
got
Casey Kasem. Come on.
we gave him an earworm. All right, kids, we'll see you next time.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.